My areas of specialization are finance in general, portfolio theory specifically. Currently, I'm writing a 4-volume book. Volume 1 is already published. The book is called Risk Return Analysis, and then the subtitle is the Theory and Practice of Rational Investing. What I hope that people will learn from my class is get a deeper understanding of this process, which is quite widely used. Right now I am a consultant for the Bank of New York Mellon, who's done a survey of institutional investors and to what extent they use modern portfolio theory. This is a follow-up of a survey that was done in 2005. And we find, for example, that between 70 and 80% of the respondents use modern portfolio theory. It isn't called that, but advanced mathematical or computer technique, for asset allocation and attribution analysis. So when you figure that the institutional investors like pension funds and endowments and so on control like something in the order of $100 trillion. We're talking about modern portfolio theory being used, to manage 80 trillion, with a T. It's a big industry. So some of the people who take my course say, oh, I was going to go into this field, but I became so interested in finance, I decided to go into finance instead. Others who don't go into finance, of course, they're going to have their own retirement funds, and they know what to look for in their retirement managers and so on. You might think my finance is my field. That's not my field. Other people think operations research is my field. Well, that's getting closer, but I'm really a philosopher. A philosopher means a lover of knowledge, and I love all sorts of fields. I used to, when I was a kid, during the summertime, I would walk. It was 9 miles to downtown. I would go downtown. I would go to I'd go to the used bookstore that were around downtown Chicago. Then I'd go either to the Art Institute, which was the Field Museum, the Shedd Aquarium, the Adler Planetarium, or the Art Institute. And there was one room in the Art Institute which had the Impressionists in it, and that I would sit there and look. We were in Japan at the time, and somehow we had just gotten to Japan and Nobel didn't know where we were. So they couldn't, after a few minutes they couldn't find us, and they just announced. We were having dinner, and I got a call from, I was teaching portfolio theory, of course, at Tokyo University, in the math department. They didn't have a business school. So the head of the math department said, you've just won the Nobel Prize. My greatest honor is not the Nobel Prize. My greatest honor happened in the men's room of a large Washington, D.C. hotel between Christmas and New Year of 1990. Now, 1990 was the year that the three of us, Markowitz, Miller, and Sharp, got the prize, and the American Finance Association wanted us all to be at the Washington, D.C. Annual meeting of the American Finance Association. So we were at a dinner, and we each got up and said something, and then our remarks were over and the dinner was over. So I went to the men's room, and next to me was another man in the men's room who said, Dr. Markowitz, I want to thank you for creating the field in which we all make our living. Now that's better than, how many Nobel laureates can say that?